One.
Mhm.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello, Dad.
Hey, babe. Hey, all. How's everybody?
How is everybody? We're in another episode of what is this called, Daddy?
What would my daddy? What would my daddy say?
What would my daddy say?
Yeah,
I love this show.
I love it.
Um, One, the show is pretty edifying to say the least. I think it takes we get some great feedback about the show and the conversation and the dynamics that we have. But just having these conversations like we typically do out loud. Um, and here's the interesting thing because I could be very much one way and then totally shift, during our conversation. And I don't know if my ears are, how can I say, a little more open in these conversations. But when I go back and I listen to them, I'm thinking like, man, I guess my daddy is saying something. And I think the people think he's saying something. What you smiling for?
Well, thank you. I mean, itching ears is inquisitive. They want to know what's out there and interested in hearing what's going on. And like a veteran, I guess. So maybe I could say some knowledgeable
Yeah,
stuff from time to time. So
yeah. Definitely, definitely. So, what is this show about? It's just a conversation between me and my dad
yeah,
about
that's right.
love, life, family. Me and my dad have a very candid relationship where we're able to talk about anything. And today, my friends and family, we're talking about, is this just an experience or is it a relationship? And
Mm-hmm.
so this topic kind of came from, and I don't know if everybody watched Red Table Talk, but I'm an adamant listener to like shows and things like that. And so I sent it over to my dad. I was like, man, we got to talk about this because, um, yeah, I I I loved it. What did you think about it?
I thought it was very interesting in that we got a perspective from different, 5 or 6 different people had, just and when you started the show, you said that this is just simple. Me and my dad just have simple everyday conversations, and we just like those people at the round table. We got our opinions on some things, so we're
Yes.
gonna just chime in tonight. See what let our audience tell us what they think.
What they think. And so I sent it over to my dad because my dad know I always say, I'm just looking for experiences. I'm
Yeah.
just looking for an experience. So I would date individuals and they'll be like, oh, I want to, either it's like you high maintenance. What's some other ones that, oh, you don't want to settle down. It's a lot with you. Um, oh, what is
yeah.
that one? Like they
Well,
don't.
they most of them believe that you are I'm not untouchable. Maybe you are unapproachable, maybe, or
Like they can't get me. Like,
yeah. They don't know how. Well, they don't know how to approach you. They feel like you're
yeah,
not easy to approach, and they don't know you
I'm
just
just
a simple girl, just
I'm
like
just
every other girl. Just
just waiting to see where I'm gonna land at. But this is
that's it.
interesting though, Dad, because I think a lot of women go through this. That's career oriented, and that's in. I want to say
Mm-hmm,
career oriented. We get a lot of backlash. So you remember when I used to work out?
mm-hmm,
So, and I used to always get into it with my trainer because it was these conversations around the woman in the house, right?
mm-hmm.
How the dynamics of women and how we shape our homes and how that's different now because the woman is out and they're working and that family dynamics has changed. And I mean, I agree with that, but I think that our priorities have shifted. Have you seen women shift from, you know, your time to now?
Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, most women are career minded now, and so naturally being that, I wouldn't say the home goes lacking, but then I think my biggest take on it, daughter, is it's been most women, most women are living on their own in their own homes, and they don't, there's not a lot of, I guess, couples per se living together, so it makes it easy for a woman to be, um, or I can see why a guy would think she's unapproachable. She's independent. First of all, she's independent. She have her own home, own money, own everything. So it ain't like most women are out there chasing guys, but so
Most,
so
most.
so I don't. Well, I mean, I just think it's
It's a big,
because
large.
they are
It's a
more.
large part of women that's chasing guys.
Well, a lot of women do it, but the majority of them are not. I don't think the majority of them are because they have their own. Well, let me say, women are not looking for a man just to take care of them per se no more.
The way they
I'll
used
put it.
to. Yeah, because when I grew up, my
Mm-hmm.
grandmother, I never saw her work, right?
That's
She
right.
always at
Right.
home. My
That's
grandfather did all the work. My
all the
grandfather
work. That's right.
drove
That's right.
drove
That's right.
around everywhere. I don't remember seeing my grandma drive, but one time,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember just having this feeling like I don't know if I want to be in the house all day and cooking and cleaning and
That's right.
raising the kids. Now my
That's
grandmother, if it wasn't for her, a lot of us probably would have went, I don't
yeah.
know, somewhere
They
else.
did that. Been doing
Um,
that. They're doing it that way. That's right. That's right.
yeah, so she was a stable, and she still is a stable anchor in our family, but
Of
just
course.
never seeing her, I'm gonna say, work outside the home. So she was the cook, she cleaned up, she took care of
That's
the
right.
kids, and my grandfather always worked outside the home, but it was definitely these roles of what was the man and what was
Mm-hmm.
the woman, right?
Yeah. That's
And
right.
so as I started to grow, I knew I didn't have those kind of domesticated aspirations to cook, clean, and be the quote unquote. And this is what I deemed a wife to be, right?
I got
When
that.
it came to will you marry me, it was always like, man, I'm not ready to do that. I'm not ready to
That's
cook
right.
and clean and stay in the house, because that is what that role symbolized to me. And I still got so much to do outside the home, right?
That's
And
right.
I think I started just creating experiences. And that's why the title is this a relationship, or is this an experience? And I
Mm-hmm.
think that I came into these roles very much experience like, oh, I'm just trying to have a good time. I just want to go bowling. I just want to,
Enjoy life.
go
Yeah.
whatever, just do whatever.
That's
And
right.
I think the guy was like having a relationship.
That's it.
And so then there would be like this disconnect when it was time to commit or move forward or go into marriage. It's like, wait, hold on. We
Yeah.
like we can't, that ain't what this is for, right?
That's right. That's
So
right.
women, if you in the chat, let me know. And then I feel like my environment was not like that either. So there wasn't like this push like, oh, you need to get married, you need to find you a man. It wasn't that push, because my
That's right.
grandfather, what my grandfather told me?
Mm-hmm.
One, about marriage, he was like, you know what, Sheila, be with the man who love you and not the man you love.
All right now. Ah, girl, I
What do you
like
think
that.
about that, Dad? What
I
do you
like
think
that.
about
I
that?
like that. That is that, and I've told you, it is always most guys would prefer a woman to show them, pursue them, and then that way he knows that she's interested. Now here's a couple more things that you said that, see, in this day and time, because of the way society is now, the way, the cost of living is so high, we usually need two incomes. A lot of people do it for, in relationships, for a stabilizer reason, just to make sure that they're comfortable with two incomes coming in is better than one.
Mm-hmm.
And then so I think that's another strain on a relationship too, because we're doing it for the wrong reason.
But
I think
listen,
we're doing when we start getting in relationships for security, that's not a that's not and we have talked about this so much. Listen, I don't know if guys or girls even, think about love anymore. They not, like you just said, you want to enjoy life. You ain't trying to fall in love on the first date and, a week into the relationship, this guy's talking about let's get married or I want to settle down. Most girls are not there right now. We are in a different, it's just a different time now than it was. Even with you at 43, it's different for you than your little cousins in their 20s. They're seeing things way different than what you saw things.
Right. So when my granddaddy said, be with the man that loves you and not the
Yes,
man
ma'am.
you love,
That's
what
right.
is the safety in that? Why did he tell me that and continuously tell me that growing up?
Well, because if you be with the guy that that you have shown that you are interested in him, he's more apt to give it back to you wholeheartedly because he know that you are into him. So
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna. I loved it when a woman showed me that she was just as much interested in me than I was in her.
Mm-hmm.
It made it easier. It made it easier for me to go ahead and open up and be more willing to give, to give myself freely to her, not being afraid because, like I said, there's so many distractions in relationships out here, baby. It's just so much, so much. The wiles
Mm-hmm.
of the world are so plentiful now, and
No, but wait though. Was those distractions back in the 60s and 70s? Are they just exposed now because we have this device that we
okay,
can see
yeah.
everything and we can track everything and we can post everything? Is it just more exposure to the chaos that was always happening in the
I,
background?
I think that's basically it, babe. I think that's the biggest modern technology has opened up so many avenues. You can know about a guy in California today and they never seen it, but because of technology, you can see him right here, sitting in your own home and see what's going on in California. And that makes it easy for you to be more mindful or be more aware of what's going on with somebody through social media. Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Because I mean, I remember my granddaddy going to get gas, and I'm not saying my granddaddy cheated on my grandma. I'm not saying that at
All
all.
right, all right,
But I
all right.
remember him going to get gas, and it took an hour for him to come back,
Took out,
or
that's right.
2 hours or whatever. You know what I mean? My grandma
Yeah, yeah.
I never saw my grandma question that, whatever. But in nowadays, if a man go out and get gas, it's a little ticker I can keep on your phone. Like, did you go to the gas station and come right back, or you know, it's
But
like Uncle Jimmy said, "Don't get me started." Hey, Uncle Jimmy, how you doing?
yeah,
Um, I'm saying, like, I think that back in the day, things were probably going on. Now, no, he wasn't talking to a woman all the way over in California. She could have
that's
been,
right, that's right, that's right.
two
Yeah.
two houses over, or the house behind the block or whatever. But my grandmother never knew
That's
whatever he
right.
was doing. When he said he was going to get gas, he was going to get gas. But now
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like you could just snap a picture. Oh, such and such house, and you can just take the picture, send it to somebody's phone. Now I'm jumping in my car, going over there. So I
That's
just
right.
think that it definitely has exposed a level of whatever was happening.
That's
Oh,
right.
we
That's
see it now. And
right.
then, of course, what we expose multiplies. So now, yes, I can go sit at the gas station and talk to a woman, you
That's right.
know,
Yeah,
in California now because I have access to her through the platform. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
So
Yeah.
so so listen. I like the points that you make because listen, it is so. And so me and you done talked about this before. Also, it don't take all night to go have that little fun that you have with somebody and get back home. But nowadays, it's so guys don't even think about it. They go out and stay all night. They don't know how to go and just like in the old days when you say granddad go to the gas station or he was going over his buddies and he would go and he would be back home in a few hours. Now guys go and they disappear all night. Now the woman out riding looking and so it's just a different society or the environment is different now. It's easier, and I guess that's what make guys why they go and stay all night. They can go out and stay all night, and I guess because that security blanket, the girl ain't going anywhere. So, or the guy, or vice versa. You know, it works both ways now. Don't just it ain't just these are girls and guys, baby. It ain't just guys. Ain't the only one that cheat out here.
Yeah, but my Uncle Jimmy said you ain't even got to leave the house nowadays. Uncle Jimmy is on Nick's side, so he said you ain't got to leave the house nowadays, right? Now he in the bathroom for an hour.
Yeah, that's right. On that phone, though, he done made a whole. That's right, Uncle Jimmy. You exactly.
He down here, and you're right, Dad. So there is women do.
Women procrastinators. They are procrastination on both sides, and it's so easy, like you said, though, because you done made those. Like Uncle Jimmy said, I went in the bathroom to take a shower and my phone with me. So do you realize that guys will not leave their phone laying on the table and go take a shower now, baby? For some reason, we are so.
For some reason, you know the reason why.
Yeah, but I'm saying, and but why is it so? Why is it so important? You know, I don't care where I go, my phone lay on the table. I ain't worried. Well, most people got those private locks or however security codes, all that anyway. So, but if your phone ring and that girl or that guy's there, they're gonna see. You want to see who that calling. You know, they're just gonna take a peek just to see. And so, and saying that though, I guess this is why and you know my take on relationships is this thing that got so far out of hand now, baby. It's just so much mischief going on. It's almost hard to be in a committed relationship now.
Yeah. Dale said he sleep with his pillow under the. He said sleep with my sleep with my phone under the pillow like the tooth fairy coming.
Yeah.
Now listen, I'm gonna tell you. I think, and this is where we start talking about, because I do want to come back to the experience in relationships, but I think, I don't know if at this point that women are in competition with one another. I want to know.
I believe that. Yes,
you
ma'am.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
I want to know. And here's the thing: I had heard this guy. I think it was Umar, Dr. Umar. I think he's like maybe a polygamist. Well, he has multiple women.
Yeah.
But what he said was that women are willing to cheat. And I've told you this before. I think you should be honest as possible, because you will be amazed at what a woman is willing to do with the truth.
You have always. Right? That's what my
and I'm like, so you ain't got to lie to her. And if you got a certain lifestyle that you want to hold, then it's best that you stay honest as possible, so that she ain't peeking in your phone, or she ain't trying to, because she already know what the dealio is, right?
That's right. That's right.
And some guys, I just don't think that they believe that they can tell the truth, right? If you're not ready to settle down, if you're not ready to be in a relationship, you know, like just say you have friends and things like that, because if you don't, I know Dale said he just joking. I want to say that I know you was joking, Dale. Because if you don't, then it's going to cause some issues for your relationship in the future, right?
Let's say this though, babe. Listen, so me and you have talked about this. I read an article where a guy says career-minded guys rather take him a month off, go to a place where women are plentiful, spend his little few thousand for that month and enjoy himself to the fullest, come back home, not being in a committed relationship, but he has enjoyed himself with no strings attached. So he can go and enjoy himself. Now, when I read that, I thought, wow, you know, that's because there's so many of us trying to be, you know, okay, career-minded, though. When you say career-minded, that's a man that's really into his job more, so he don't have time to. And because of the expenses of living in these times, it's almost hard not to have a career. You almost got to have a nice income nowadays.
Yes, you do. So do you think that income or this goal of achieving more, having more, being more status has eroded relationships and the
Yes, ma'am.
importance
I
of.
really truly do. Yes, I do. I do because if you just say you got a career mind, a doctor, two doctors, just use two doctors, they're in the home together. They really don't have time for one another, babe. They're mostly on call, they're in the hospital, they're at the office, so they don't have. And so now and then one of them mess around and meet somebody that's nice and friendly, and they get to go to lunch or something. Before you know it, something going on the side. Now you got trouble. And so I think it really has truly caused relationships to falter in that because we don't have time, and those little minutes that we get to splurge or to have a little fun, it causes problems.
Mhm.
I think that's a great point.
Yeah, I do feel that way. And this is so, here's my confession, right?
Hmm.
So I watched the video and the man said, and if you guys haven't watched it, I would just say everybody should watch it because I think it was very insightful. But the
Hmm.
man said, you got to ask people questions. Are they willing to have an experience? Are they willing to have a relationship?
That's right. That's right. He said that.
And for
Hmm.
me, I'm a strong believer that either you're running from something or you're running towards something. You can't do both,
Can't do both. That's right.
And so you're running away from pain, trying to seek pleasure, but you can't do both, right?
Hmm. That's right.
And or you're running away from pain, or you're running towards pleasure, but you can't do both. And what I realized in that, and I feel like growth happens like putting puzzle pieces, like putting 1,000 or trillion pieces to the puzzle together, right? You got to
Yes,
find
ma'am.
a piece
Yes,
that
ma'am. Yes,
fit, and
ma'am.
you
Yes.
thinking it fit because it's the same color, and you just trying to
Yeah,
make
trying to
it
make it. Force
fit,
it in there. That's right. That's
trying
right.
to force it in there. And
Right.
it's like, well, it looked like it fit, but it don't really fit all together. Once you find a piece that fit, you know that it's the
You
piece
know
that fit
that's
in
a
this
good
puzzle,
fit. That's
right?
right. That's right. It fits right in there too. It
It
goes
fits
right
right
in
in
place.
there. And so
Yeah.
sometimes, I mean, majority of the time, that's how growth happens, right? We
That's
we
right.
got a
That's
thousand
right.
little, a million little pieces that we're
Yeah.
trying to put together and understand this thing called life clearer. And
Yeah.
a big part of that is this relationship. And I
Right.
feel like because I have been in a relationship and I had done the role of being at home,
Hmm.
I was in
Hmm.
school and I was a busybody, but I really tried to make
Take
that
care of home. Take care
domesticated
of home.
part of
That's
me
right. Yeah.
work.
That's
And
right.
when that didn't work, I think I started running away from
Hmm.
whatever
Hmm.
symbolized the relationship, and I started to just want experiences. And they
Yeah.
would come back at me. It's like, oh no, I want to be in a relationship. I want to be in a relationship. And I'm like, no, no, no.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah.
here for the moment. I mean, I literally lived with the man, and I still was like, we just having experiences. Like I'm living with you, but I can't say you my man. Like I don't want to give you a title, right? Like it was literally like I'm running away from that, and I feel like the wind must have caught
Hmm.
my words,
Yeah. It carried
right?
it out. It carried out there.
It's like after a couple of dates and a couple of experiences, and these guys coming after me, I think God was like, okay, so
Mhm.
you want an experience, and I ran dead smack into a guy
That's right. That's right.
that was
That's right.
just like I want an experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me
And
let me
okay, you go.
because when you hit a point, I need to
No,
comment
wait,
because
let me clarify this.
okay.
Not living with someone is experience. So Dale said, wait, living with someone is an experience. In my mind at the time, yes,
Hmm.
I lived with the individual. I was transitioning. We were dating, but it
Yes.
wasn't.
It
It
was.
wasn't like an agreement. Like I'm gonna live with you, you're gonna live with me, and we're gonna be happily ever after. It wasn't that
No.
type of
No.
thing.
No.
It was
That's right. That's right.
definitely,
Yeah.
I'm transitioning. We're dating. It was a temporary situation, and so I wasn't ready for what when you see two people living together, you thinking, oh, y'all live
Oh,
together, so
that's a
y'all must
couple.
be
Yeah,
together.
that's a couple.
It
That's right. All right.
wasn't that.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
roommate. Yes,
Yeah.
roommates. Yeah,
Okay.
we were more intimate
That's
roommates.
right.
You know what I mean?
Can I? Can I?
I had
Can
great love for him, but I knew that he wasn't a person that I wanted to, you
live
know,
life?
live
Live
with,
life
like
with.
live my
Mhm.
life with. Yeah. So I just want to
Okay.
clarify.
Let me say. Let me. And I want to poll the audience, and then I'm gonna comment first, but I wanna I want to ask our audience this. Listen, so do you first of all, me personally think that it's nowadays relationships is something that I think what we should do is go ahead and get ourselves established career wise, get our jobs and stuff in a place where we are comfortable now. So we do have time to have a relationship. And here what I find now, babies, and I tell you this all the time. People that's getting married in their 20s and 30s, I just really don't think they're ready because they're trying to do a career, they're trying to raise a family, they don't have time. And you're gonna find that more problems gonna come because of the lack of time with that man and that woman don't have time for each other. They are committed to raising their families and making or earning for their family, and they don't have time for each other. So now you're going to get a problem because we both want attention as a male or a female. We both want attention, so we're gonna get attention wherever it comes from. Now, if we just say I'm in a workplace where there's a bunch of females,
Mhm.
I'm gonna get attention because they're giving me more than I'm getting at home. And then you in a place where there's a bunch of males, you a beautiful woman, you're gonna get attention. And if you're not getting it at home, you're gonna seek it where you find it. So what I want to know is, do y'all think that it's better to go ahead and make your career before, and then when you meet somebody that's ready and y'all nice, y'all both comfortable in wherever y'all at, whether it's financially or just comfortable in an environment, period. So y'all have time for a relationship. Do you think it's better to go ahead and get that career started and get that out of the way? Because if you trying to do a relationship and trying to do a career, you remember we do R.C. Blake's a lot, and he says that if I don't support you as my spouse or my mate, then I'm gonna probably drive you away because I gotta support what you are into. I gotta encourage you when you come home, and
Yeah.
I want to encourage you to go ahead and pursue what it is. But if I'm not getting attention, that's still defeating the purpose.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to answer this question. I do want to ask Uncle Jimmy to answer that question for us, and then I want Dale to answer that question for us. And if you guys want to answer the question online, I can send you a link through Messenger, and then we can bring you guys in. So just let me know
Yeah.
that. So before I answer that question, though, Uncle Jimmy said, "What are you saying? You didn't want to be a mother?" Yes, I wanted to be a mother, but this is why I'm gonna bring up his question, because I feel like it was priorities. And
It
what
was
I didn't
priority.
know
See,
in
that's
being
it. To
in a
raise the family. That's
relationship,
right. That's right. That's
what
right.
I didn't know in getting a relationship is how to prioritize. Nor did
Mm-hmm.
I feel like at the time we were in our 20s, and what do we make the priority? And I absolutely remember my
Mm-hmm.
kid's father coming up to me and saying,
Yeah.
"What are
Yeah.
your priorities?" Like, and I
Exactly.
was like,
Exactly.
"Oh, the kids,
The kids. Yeah.
school,
Yeah.
at the time my family, because my mom that was going through stuff." And
Mm-hmm.
then I remember like he was number 4, and to
Mm-hmm.
me it was like I didn't know how to make him number 1 when I'm
Come
a
on, girl.
mother
Come on, girl.
and I'm
Yeah.
in school and I'm trying to get this education and all of these things. Now those two were huge investments for me, and then the criticalness of my family at the time, me feeling like, well, I'm the go-to person. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know how to make and put
That's right.
him,
That's
nor
right.
was I taught. Like, I need to
Mm-hmm.
put him, and I don't even know still today if it was a season of him understanding, like,
Right.
oh, these are priorities for her. It doesn't mean
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't love me. It doesn't mean
Right.
I'm not
That's right.
important. It just means that she's in school and the kids is taking a lot of her attention. And that's not because she doesn't love me, because I absolutely love them, right?
That's right. That's right. Oh,
And then with the criticalness of my family, it was like, okay, well, I need to be here for my mom because it's just stuff going
we
on
need. We need.
that,
That's right.
yeah,
That's
that
right.
she needs my support. And he was like, yeah, it feels like I'm
Mm-hmm.
number 4. And so I think that your question is valid, because when you start talking now, I feel like what comes up in my spirit is
Mm-hmm.
more this idea of, do we know how to prioritize in the season?
Exactly. Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
because if you young and then you in your 20s dating, you have a totally different
Totally. Yes. Yes.
need than when you in your 30s, than when you in your 40s,
Come on, girl. Come on,
and
girl.
and there is I was so grateful at like 27 or 28 when I learned that balance happens over a lifetime and
Yes,
not
ma'am.
in the moment, because I
That's
was
right.
definitely trying to balance my life in the
Mm-hmm.
days. Like,
That's
oh, did I
right.
get enough time with the kids? Did I get enough time at school? Did I put enough time in at work? Did I spend enough time with him? Right. And it
Yeah.
was
Come on.
stressing me
Yeah.
out trying to
Yeah.
prioritize,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
And then now, instead of, so mind you, I said my kids, school, my mom, him. So then Sheila was like number 5 on that
Well,
list.
see what I'm
You know
saying
what I mean?
now. Now,
So
yes, yes.
now I'm like, man, I'm in by 28, 29, 30, I'm
Mm-hmm.
feeling like I'm like eroding, like I
I'm
don't have
defeated.
the
I'm
energy.
defeated.
I
That's
cannot
right.
keep
That's
up
right.
with this, right? Because
Okay.
I'm trying to find balance. So when
Mm-hmm.
like 27, 28, and somebody said to me, Sheila, balance happens over a lifetime and not in the days. That was
Right.
hard to fathom. But after
That's right.
43-year-old Sheila's like, yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
yes,
Balance
yes.
happens over the
You could,
lifetime. That there's going to be some seasons in my
yeah.
life, depending on what the demand is or what we're trying to accomplish or experience, where
Mm-hmm.
I may
Mm-hmm.
not be as present in the
Yeah.
relationship that I should be, because, or that you want me to be, because
Right.
of whatever the priority or the goal is. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Okay. We have listen. We have came. So me and you don't got together. We done got this baby now. So we make that our priority now. So we're gonna raise this child the
Mm-hmm.
best we know how. You done already told me that you put yourself in the number 5 hole, and that's always going to be an issue, baby, because you done stretch yourself so thin you don't even have time for yourself, and that in itself is a problem. Now, here that number 4 over there, which is the guy, he's next to you, but he ain't getting his satisfaction. He ain't getting the time that he wants with you. But listen, so when we get these babies, though, that's another thing. That's why we have to know what we're doing in life. And I know when we're young, we don't think like this. When we're young, we just go ahead and have that fun, and then
We
what
can have
comes
this
of it?
cute family and this picket house, and
Yeah,
we
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
look good, and
yeah. So we just go with it. So,
yeah.
but what we need to do, baby, and that's why I say, is it better to go ahead and make our career, get our career. And if we get these babies, then we know we ain't got time to do nothing but raise these babies. Then they raise these babies like Steph Curry and their mom and dad. They raise them kids. Now they done separated and they going their own way. They just shack now. They just enjoying themselves now because they done dedicated all their time to raising the babies.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well, I
we
do
gotta
feel
we
like
gotta learn how
I
to
okay.
we got to learn how to prioritize and that's why I say go ahead and get your career out the way, get established. And I know it's when you get in your 40s and 50s, that ain't no good time to be raising no babies either. So you should have, you
Hey,
would want to
baby.
get that.
But okay, so if it's encouraging to have the babies young, then I feel like there needs to be a conversation around,
How we going to do it?
because people
Yeah.
push you like, oh, when y'all getting married, you could be dating somebody for a year, and then it's
All
like,
right.
oh,
Yeah.
when y'all getting married, or
All right. All right. All
and
right.
then especially if you have a baby, it's like in some way society is giving you these steps to that you
Yeah.
should take next, and the illusion of those steps looks very good. Like, yeah, marriage sounds good, baby sound
Mm-hmm.
good, we
All
got a
right.
two
All right. All
income
right.
home, we can do this. But
Yeah.
then not realizing, but yeah, that's a whole different energy field now that's in your
Exactly.
life, that
Exactly.
is
Exactly.
dependent up
Yeah.
on
On
you,
you. That's right.
to
That's right.
provide for them.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And
We should, babe, if we could get, listen, I got married at a young age because she got pregnant, okay?
mhm,
So I thought, the old folks felt like if you get a pregnant, that's what you do back in the old days. Okay, so now I'm talking even before you was even conceived. So we talking way, way back. Now, listen. So now my babies become my priority, become our priority. So I go to work every day, come home trying to make a living. I don't want her to go to work. I would just want you to stay home and raise these babies. I'm going to go out and make the necessary finances to take care of this family. Okay, now with her having so much time on her hand in between raising the babies and taking care of the home, and then I'm not giving her no time because when I get home, I'm so wore out and tired from working 12, 15-hour days. Now I don't have time for her either. So now I push her into doing something that she didn't necessarily want to do, but she's doing it because it becomes easy for her. Baby, it's so much so much temptation, wiles of the world, so many things that distract you, even from raising your family. Just that right there, the temptation. You go to the grocery store. A guy see you with 3 babies, he give you a little attention. You ain't getting it at home, so you might just go have a cup of coffee, or you might just go. Well, let's go
And
meet
as a
at the.
woman, I could say this because
Mhm.
we and women, let me know if you agree with this, because I've heard, like I said, my grandfather raised me, so he's definitely put me up on game. He kind of handed the baton to you. Then hearing the voice of a man, I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
has
yeah.
always been there. And
That's
for
right.
me, there was this smoke, right? Like that didn't allow me to see that picture clear, because that's not what I want. I don't want the man who loves me to
Yeah.
be able to go to the grocery store and
Yes, yes,
be
yes, yes.
seduced by a woman. I don't want that. So
That's right. That's
yeah,
right.
no, that's not the type of guy that I'm going to get, right?
But
Um,
yeah,
but but
but
I know that those type of things happen, right?
that's right. That's it. That's it.
So this is for me coming out of that 13-year relationship. I just wanted, I'm gonna bring it back to experiences. I wanted experiences because I felt like what it will require for me to be
Yeah,
at
yeah,
this point,
yeah,
I know
yeah.
what it's going to require of me
That's
to
right,
be
right.
in a
Yeah,
sustainable relationship. And I
yeah,
don't know if I have that to give, especially in building a business, co-parenting and understanding co-parenting, raising the boys. And I'm gonna always have a relationship with my kid's father. So off jump,
yeah.
if you ain't
All
understanding
that.
that,
Oh, oh,
that's a
wow.
problem.
Yes, yes, yes,
Two,
yes.
I'm a business owner that's trying to create an impact in the
Mm-hmm.
world. If you ain't understanding that, off the
Yeah.
ramp, that's a problem. So how
Okay.
about we just enjoy this
Yeah,
weekend,
yeah.
right?
That's
How
see.
about you just check up on me throughout the
Yeah,
week, right?
yeah, yeah,
And that residue though of whatever those experiences was like, oh no, I want you to be my woman. And I feel like it wasn't even, to be honest, I don't know if it was even like I want you to be my woman, or
mm-hmm.
like the net, like I want to catch you so
Yeah, yeah,
nobody else. I want to reel you in, like bite
that's
my
right.
hook.
Yeah,
I done
yeah,
baited it, bite my
yeah.
hook so
Bite
no
my
other
hook now.
person
That's
can
right. That's right.
come
That's right.
in and bait,
Yeah.
and be with you. And to
Mm-hmm.
me, one, that was very selfish. You know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
feel like it was
Mm-hmm.
very selfish because one, you ain't ready for a relationship either.
You
So
can't
why
be.
you
That's
trying to
right. That's
reel
right.
me in and
Mm-hmm.
just to keep me in your bucket to say,
Yeah.
oh, this is my prize fish. And I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
Now, here's the nuance in that. I met a guy
Mm-hmm.
that only wanted experiences. So we
Yeah.
got together and we
Yeah.
had great
Yeah.
experiences.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
great experiences. Like he cooked for me whenever I'm
Mm-hmm.
with them. We have an
Yeah.
awesome
A
time.
great time.
We play
Great time. Yeah.
cards.
Yeah.
We,
Have
laugh, we
fun. Y'all
dance,
have
we
fun.
sing,
Y'all have
we have
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a very fun time.
Yeah.
But when it's over,
Yeah. But it's a one night. It's also a one night affair, though. It's a
that's
one.
what I'm
Y'all
saying.
do
So
that
when
that
it's
evening.
over,
That evening. Yeah.
yeah, that's
And
what I'm
then
saying.
now
So when
y'all
it's
might
over,
not do it
it's
no more
over.
till next week, though, babe. So here's this is my point exactly, though. So that one fun evening. So when you said that's instantly what came up in my spirit. Okay, do we want to just have some fun and enjoy one another when we can? And baby, it's so many. You said if we be honest as guys scared to be honest and tell a woman, look, I just want to have a little fun, and because they feel like they're gonna get turned around at the door right then.
Yeah.
And it's
Now let me
women out
tell you
there.
how we
But
snuck it.
listen, but it's women out there that want that too, baby. they won't come out and say, well, look, I'm just like you. I'm just, look, my career is way more, my family is way more important right now. So I'm willing to just have a little fun. And, if you're a nice guy and we can, like you say, you can have that night where you could just go and enjoy yourself, get up in the morning, have a nice hot breakfast and just gone on off your day, and y'all speak later on. Oh, that was fun last night. Maybe we'll do it again in next week or in a few weeks. So most women are not. Now we begin to put ties into that thing. Now we want to know, well, what did you do all weekend? Why you didn't call me?
Yeah. So this is so I had that enough. Like I said, what I realized is that I was running away from relationships. I only wanted experiences. The wind caught that, sent me a person that gave me experiences. And the last conversation we had was I was very grateful. I'm like, I'm very grateful for you coming into my life. Like, you're so anchored, because I feel like all the other guys would be like, yeah, we can hang out, but it always came at these costs, or something always changed, or it was like, oh, this future place that they were trying. So you doing this today so that you can accomplish something tomorrow. And it was just really, like, no, that's not what we're doing. So I had this conversation with him, and I was very grateful. Like, listen, I thank you for being an anchor, like anchoring in your spot. That you only provided a space.
Anchored.
A space for us to exist at the time we exist. And what that did was it made me be able to see me.
Yes,
and Sheela, what do you want? And all of this time I'm running away from relationships, and God sent me you, and I'm gonna say God sent me you, but I run into you, and you're so anchored that I can't blame you for these feelings. I can't blame you for it. Because you're doing exactly what
I said what I said I wanted.
Like I'm gonna show up exactly how I said. I want to be your friend. We're gonna be cool or whatever. And it gave me enough space to say, Sheela, what do you want? Right.
Yeah.
And what I realized in those exchanges is, I'm about to make the audience laugh. Like you said, I like the linger. Like, I like we had a good time.
Yeah.
And I told him this too. I like that we had a good time, but I like the residue about that. Like, I like the bubble over.
That's right.
And then he said back, so are you talking about a relationship?
Yeah.
And I said,
now.
And I said, no, I'm not. No. And I still don't know the word for it.
That's
so
right.
it was like, it's more of interest on the account, right? So there was some, I deposited something every month, based on how much money you got in your account, you're going to get an interest check, right? If you're a shareholder, you're going to get a little portion of that. So this don't have nothing to do with a future place, right? This has nothing to do with a future place that I'm trying to go with you and make you my husband or nothing like this. This has everything to do with the deposits that's been placed in our experiences. And because of those deposits, then it's some interest that's like some flowers, some cards, And so it was a Music Soul Child concert yesterday. And he's like, I want to sing you to this. This is before I had this conversation. I want to sing you to this Music Soul Child concert. I think that was his way. Before I even had this conversation with him, I think that was him starting to put interest on it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you, I mean, do guys hear that as relationship, but it's more of just interest on what we've experienced? I'm just trying to see.
So the first point that caught my attention, though, you had fun for that evening. Y'all was together. Yeah. Now, here's what he did, though. He made time for you for that night and that morning. He made time for you to enjoy that. Yeah. Now, and then when y'all had that late conversation that morning and you said, oh, I really enjoyed it. Now, his curiosity says, oh, so you want to go further. You want, what why don't we just enjoy that evening we had and let that go?
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe next time we do it, we can do it again,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll see where they go. But we so curious about, what if this was every day? What if I could do this every day? What if this could be that person that I want to do this with all the time? And he never.
I think that's where a man mind goes, and
That's
that
where
is
his
not
mind.
at all.
Exactly,
And
exactly,
I'm saying
exactly.
and this is the disconnect, because that is
That's
not at
it,
all
and
what I'm saying,
that's
right?
where it starts. At. That's
Yeah,
where it
but
starts.
I think
Yeah.
a guy
Hmm.
hears when you say, when a
Yeah, that
woman
was fun.
says,
That was fun. Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean, man, this is one, thank you. I enjoy our experiences. Okay. Now I feel like, and I can't say he doesn't check on me through the week, like how you doing or whatever. But I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
like I think we need to up the game up. Like I want some flowers. Like I want you to send me some
Yeah, yeah. I
flowers.
want a little more. I want a little more.
Yeah,
Don't say
like
it. I want a little more. That's
yeah,
right.
just step it up a little bit. I'm not saying I want to be your woman, but I
Yeah,
feel like in that conversation, he
yeah. Show
heard
me,
that.
show me,
And
show me
so
that you
for
really did.
me,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
me, the question now is, I'm taken care of when I'm with them. I don't worry about anything, right? Like
That's right. That's
nothing.
right. He
And I'm
got you.
just
He
like, hey,
got you.
I
That's
really
right.
enjoy our experiences. I'm ready for the
Yeah,
overflow. I'm ready for the,
yeah. What's
for the
next?
what's
What's
your
next?
address?
Yeah.
Like, so you can send me some, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Just something that's not happening in that moment.
Yeah. Make me think that you think of me more than just at this moment.
Think.
That's it. That's
But I
it.
feel
That's it.
like when I had the conversation, it wasn't about thinking. It was about, oh shoot, she want a relationship. And I'm just like, no,
Where did that come from?
where did that come from? And I'm
Exactly.
and I'm and I'm
Exactly.
having this conversation in front of the audience and with you, because we've kind of had this conversation. But
Hmm.
why
Hmm.
do men and women, because I just said I
Women,
mean,
both, because it comes
yeah,
from both sides. They scare
why
me
do
off just
we
like I scared him off. That's right.
yeah,
That's
but
right.
why do we feel the need to overgeneralize, you
A good
know,
evening, a good fun evening, a good fun evening.
or just
Exactly.
a request for, you
Yeah.
know, I think that
A little more
yeah, a little
appreciation
more.
then. A little
Yeah,
more appreciation. Yeah,
yeah. It's
yeah,
just like any relationship to me will progress in that way.
yeah. It,
Anything to me will
it got to
progress
get
in
better.
that.
That's right. I
At
agree.
first, we going out to eat. That was our
Yeah,
first thing. We just used to meet at restaurants, right?
that's right.
Then
That's
we
right.
go from a restaurant to a movie. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
And then we go from a restaurant to a movie to a drink at your house. You know
A
what I mean?
dinner at home.
I
Dinner
do
at
it
home.
at
That's
home.
right.
Then we go
That's
from
right.
we ain't going to the restaurant, you cooking for me. You
That's
know what I
right.
mean?
That's it. That's
So
it,
each
girl. You
time
got
there's
it.
a
Yeah.
little bit of expansion. And I
Yeah,
feel
we
like
get
I don't know if it
comfortable.
was
Now
my
then we get
masculine
comfortable.
energy
Yeah,
or what,
yeah,
but I'm like, okay, we've expanded our space from just dining
yeah,
out. So
yeah.
now it's like, hey, I want a little bit more of,
I'm
you
comfortable
know,
with you now. That's
yeah,
right. I'm
I want
comfortable.
a little bit more of this. Now,
Yeah.
here's the thing, and this is why we have the What Would My Daddy Say show, because I feel like there's these little nuances that we have to clarify when it comes to
Yeah.
this male female
Yeah.
dynamic, that
Yeah.
we will just jump to
Hmm.
these extreme places, like the place I was running from with men. Like, how you just want me to be your wife, you know what
After
I
that.
mean? Off
Hmm.
of, you
Yeah.
know,
A
this,
fun evening. A fun
like,
evening.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
what, how do you get there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or how
Yeah.
do you even get to saying, we haven't talked
Hmm.
about values? What do we
Yeah.
value? We haven't talked
Hmm.
about future. How we gonna raise, how do you see yourself in my life
Yeah.
with kids, like with my sons, what role you gonna play? It's so many different things that
That's right.
we
That's
haven't
right.
even explored,
It's
right?
some, but it's some
We're
things
just
that
stuck to
day.
that.
But it's some things that you have said in there that shows me that. Listen. Okay, so I'm having fun with you. I like you. I'm having fun with you, and I really do like you. Now, guys, when we meet somebody that's nice and I mean, I'm enjoying their company. They saying the right stuff, baby. We get what you just said. Itchy ears. We want to hear some more. We want to hear you say, let's, how far can we go with this? So now we start
That ain't
maybe
what
put a
I said. I
yeah,
didn't say how far we can
but
go with
yeah.
this. So I'm trying to see how you even hearing me say that.
See, you ain't, but you didn't let me see. But then that's
Okay,
where
all
that
right.
curiosity comes, and now I'm starting to kind of throw you a few hints. Okay, listen, I really enjoyed you. Let's do it. Okay, so next week we do the same thing. And now, see, if we go back to that place where we started at, if we had to prioritize ourselves before we even got there, though, we never would have even we wouldn't be having that conversation. We would know. Listen, we just having fun, and if it go anywhere, it go, and if it don't, it don't.
Right.
Now, if
Okay. Great. I'm glad you said that. So how do you get from we're just having fun and that's fine to what's the
yeah,
next
I'm
step?
ready.
Because it
I
cannot be
want to
in
go.
my
I want.
mind, it
Yeah,
cannot jump from we're just having fun to you my
uh-huh.
boyfriend now. Like there
Yeah,
has
yeah,
to be some space in between for expansion, like or
yeah,
for other places for you to go. And this is
yeah,
my blind spot because I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
hey, no, I need to see the fullness of you
Yeah,
because I
right.
feel like
That
when
right.
I say
That right.
you
Right.
my man, that's a
Yeah,
celebration. That
yeah.
means you done already showed up in my life
All
as
in
the
all those
capacity
places.
of a
That right. That
man
right. That right. That right.
for me to say you my man. If I say
Yeah,
you my husband, that means you done already shown that
yeah.
the qualities of what a husband is going to be before I
Y'all
say
done showed you that.
yes,
That's
you
right.
my
That's right.
husband, right? That's a
Yeah.
celebration. That title is a celebration of what we've already experienced. That
That's right.
title to me is not
Mm-hmm.
the introduction to you finna be my man and then I'm finna see how you do the man things, or you gonna
Right.
be my husband and I'm finna
Right.
see how you do husbandly things. Like you have already qualified as a
Exactly.
man
Yeah.
for me to
Exactly.
say, oh
Yeah.
yeah, we can be in a
Yeah.
relationship.
In a
And,
relation. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and for me, when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to navigating those relationships, like opening the space up and saying, hey, we have good experiences. I'm opening up a space for you to expand this into the, let me see how you show up through the week. I can't even
Yeah.
tell you, uh,
Yeah. Yeah. That's
like,
right.
oh, I want you to be my boyfriend. I want to have more. I still want to experience what we experience on the weekend. I'm not asking you to be present through the week. I'm just
That's
saying
right. I
allow
just
your
want to
presence
expand.
to
I
be
just want to expand.
experienced
That's right.
through the
That's
week,
right. That's
right?
right. That's right. All right.
And for some reason, and I can't say he didn't hear that, but I'm saying, like you keep saying, oh yeah, oh now she want to settle down. I never said that. That's not
You
what came
didn't
out
say
of my
it. You didn't say it. No, but you took me to a place that made me believe. And so here's again, babe. Though this is the thing that I think that women don't never get. Though, listen, I'm a fun-loving guy. You're gonna enjoy hanging out with me, and I'm gonna make sure you enjoy. But that don't mean I'm finna get married to you either. That don't mean I'm in love with you. That means we had fun. It was a fun evening. And listen, love grows just like a flower or anything else you plant. If you
slowly.
water it, you nurture it, you let it grow.
Right.
That thing take care of itself in
Right.
time.
Right.
Yeah.
But
So
if love grows like
don't,
a
but
flower,
don't put, but we can't put love in there off the top. We gotta let that thing. Now listen,
we can
we
plant the
could,
seed
but
of
wait,
love.
see, but we could do all those things that goes with relationship. We can have fun. We can spend nights together. We can go places. But that don't mean we in love. That means we enjoy one another. And you know something? The more we do that without putting some stipulations in there, though, that's when you're going to start having those problems where somebody's going to back off. Now you feel bad because you feel like I used you or I deceived you, or and so listen. That's why I say let's before we go too far. Let's know where we at.
Y'all
Let's
see my
make sure
face.
we got to
Yeah.
understand.
So old school versus new
Old
school.
school.
Because
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
old school and I would say I'm new school, but I'm glad you brought up the flower thing because I think that what came up in my spirit, and I want to share this analogy. And I have shared this analogy with men, and I don't think
Mhm.
they like it, and I've shared it with friends. Okay, so I feel like all relationships is the planting. You should always bring love into every relationship.
Always.
Okay,
That right.
okay.
That right. That right. That right.
Now, some relationships is just the seed, like you just putting a seed of love in, right?
That
And
right. The seed in the ground. It's the seed in the ground.
is
That's right.
each
That's right.
exchange is each exchange. Okay, let me start over. You plant the seed of love, so you put the seed in, and each exchange we do is
Mhm.
is like we're
Cultivate.
watering
It's a
that seed,
cultivate.
right?
It's a
Now,
cultivation. It's
mind you,
cultivate.
it's a seed,
That's
so
right.
we ain't talking about a full plant. We ain't talking about that. We just talking about watering at the level at which
Yeah.
the seed is, right?
That's a seed. That's right.
Okay.
Got to make it grow. That's right.
So
That's
you're
right.
watering, watering. So you may be, so for me, I come into relationships and I planted this seed and I'm
Mm-hmm.
cultivating that. So each experience I'm having with the man is cultivating this seed, right?
Right. All
And
right.
so now it has roots. Now I go into another relationship and it's cultivated. Just say if I go into another relationship, it's going to
Yeah.
cultivate now the stem of this flower, right? But just say I'm with the same person and it's okay, I'm stemming now, right? I done broke ground with you. You know what I mean? Look at
All
you,
right. All
kudos. We
right.
done
Yeah,
rooted
I'm in here.
ourselves.
I'm in here. In other words,
Yeah, we
yeah.
done
Yeah.
rooted
Yeah.
ourselves in love, and not
Yeah.
not a love like I'm in love with you, love, but in a love like a respect and
I
value,
respect. That's
yeah,
right,
like a
baby. That's
respect
right.
for one
Yeah.
another. We stem, we growing, we cultivating each exchange, right?
Yeah. All right. All right.
So now
That's
you
it.
have the stems and all of that. Now, here's the thing: the flower
Mm-hmm.
blooms. This is what we get the choice to do, and I don't feel like people understand that. You don't have to keep the flower.
No, you do not.
You
You
can
do not.
pass the flower on to someone
Yeah.
else,
All
right?
right. All right.
And most of us have done that. We have been in relationship, cultivated the flower,
Yeah. Got that flower up. That's
yeah,
right.
all
That's
the
right.
way up until it's time for the flower to blossom, and then the
Pluck that
relationship
flower.
is
All right.
over, and
Yeah.
now we see our flowers with somebody else. Like I
Yeah.
raised that man. Like I
I
did that.
taught
Like
him.
I
I
got
taught
him to
him.
that point.
Mm-hmm. I taught him
When the
everything he
reality of
knows.
it
Yeah.
is, all relationships that we're in should be cultivating the seeds within us.
That's
And
right.
when it's time to harvest that, maybe
Yeah.
you may be the harvester, or maybe you won't be.
Yeah. You might be the reaper of the harvest
You
too,
may be
baby.
the
Just
reaper of
depends.
the
Yeah.
harvest, right? But
Yeah, but baby,
but
we
some
gotta
men
remember.
don't like
Yeah.
the idea of, well, I ain't finna
Yeah.
make you better
Yeah.
for another man. And women don't like the idea that I'm gonna make you better for another man. And I'm
That's
like,
right.
I'm gonna make you better for another woman. But the truth
That's
of the
right.
matter is,
Right.
you're
You
only as
didn't do
good as your
neither
last
one of us.
relationship.
That's right. You didn't do neither one of us did that though. We just all we did was we raised a plant, we planted it, and we
Mm-hmm.
nurtured it and watched it grow.
Right.
So now, but as you did that though, babe, listen, I mean, so what happens when you in a 13-year relationship and all of a sudden now you don't want that no more? What I mean, what in those 10 years, what happened in there that pushed that thing so far apart
The
that
flower started to die.
okay, so somebody quit doing their part then.
I don't know if somebody quit.
Somebody had to quit taking care of that plant now. It had
Yeah,
to
yeah.
something
Oh
had
no.
to happen.
Yeah, yeah,
Something had to happen down there through there
yeah.
for me to
Or
even
maybe the season was over, and I don't. I maybe it was just time for a change. I just know
yeah,
that after the
yeah, yeah,
relationship,
yeah.
yeah,
See,
I
did you
just
see
know
how?
after
But do
the
you see what you see?
yeah,
Listen, people grow up. People grow, baby. Listen, you grow. You get tired of shoes. You get tired of clothes. You can get tired of one another, and I agree
and I
one
don't
hundred
even know.
percent.
And this is a mature relationship. I hear what you're saying, but
Mhm.
I don't even know if it's so much we get tired, or when do we know it's time to? I've outgrown this pot. I need to repot. And if the person that you're with doesn't
Yeah,
bring a bigger pot for you to plant
yeah,
yourself in, or
yeah.
not
Okay,
willing to
okay,
watch
okay,
you go into
okay.
the bigger pot, then
Yeah.
maybe you've outgrown the relationship. That don't make
Oh,
that person a bad person. That don't make you a
exactly,
bad person.
exactly, exactly,
It's just,
exactly,
hey, it's time.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
then, but I do feel like we will stay because we
Mm-hmm.
understand that, oh, what I have, I've invested so much and I don't want nobody else to reap off of that. You know what? And I'm gonna say this: any guy I have been with is a better
Yeah.
man because of me. And I am grateful
I
to
like
have
that. I
helped
like that
him
you
to
feel
become a
that because
better man, because
I
I
feel that
know
same.
the power of a man for a
Mm-hmm.
female. You
All right.
understand me?
That's
The
right. I
power of a
like that.
man in a woman's life is so powerful. And when I meet men, I remind them of that. Do you know your power? Do you
Do
know
you
what
know
you're
your
doing as
worth?
a
Come
man?
on, girl.
And I
Yes, I
want you
like
to
that. I
be
like
the
that. I
best
like that.
man
Yeah.
that you
Yeah.
could be for me
Somebody,
or
yeah.
whatever woman you choose to be with. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Somebody said that today, babe. There are 10 questions that you
Why
should
you
ask.
laughing, Dale? I'm serious.
Yeah, but those 10 questions that you should ask that man when you first meet him. and I forgot how he prioritized it though.
Mm-hmm.
But one is to, how comfortable are you how are you with yourself though, babe? How comfortable are you? Are you in the place that you want to be in life? Are you comfortable enough to say I could start a relationship? Are you comfortable enough to say I'm financially stable? Or how's your credit score? I mean, there's so many things that we lack in trying to make relationships, sweetheart, that is just, I'm telling you, I know you hate to hear dad keep saying it, but relationships rules are hard. It's so much comes with it, and we don't ask the right questions going in.
Right. Well, I think that we don't ask the right questions, Dad, because we don't know how to ask, and people are pretty much selfish people, and we
But
feel like we
I agree.
own.
I agree.
I
I
feel like
agree.
we feel like we own one another, and nobody owns me but God. This is probably why I
Yeah.
have
Yeah. That's what.
dynamic that I have with
Yeah.
men.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
tell me what to do, because one thing you need to know is
Yeah.
that I'm gonna
Yeah.
look out for Sheila first. I was in a 13-year
Okay.
relationship, and I always say
Okay.
I never cheated. And then
All
like
right.
I never, and I was talking to my son about this. I didn't cheat, not cheat because of, oh, I ain't gonna cheat on him because I love him so much. For
Uh,
me, I didn't cheat because I
because of
always
you, though.
thought
You wanted that. Yeah, that was
I
you. That
always
was your.
thought,
Yeah.
like, if I'm cheating and I got a man at home, like, what is
Come
this
on,
guy
girl.
gonna
Come
think
on,
about me,
girl.
right?
Yes.
So I
Yes.
was
Yes.
able to have male friends in our relationship. I mean,
That's right. That-
my best friend right now is a man that I used to date, but he my best
That's
friend.
right.
Probably would be like my maid of honor in my relationship, and we had a relationship, a full blown
Yes.
man I
Yes.
was in
Yes.
love with.
Yes.
We got over, and now he's one of my best friends. I visited his home. He's married.
Yes,
He has
ma'am.
kids.
Met
I
his
know his
wife.
wife.
Met his wife. All
Our
of that. That's right.
season
That's
was
right.
over, right? But
That's
what
right.
came, what I was able to harvest from that relationship was something phenomenal. Like it was
Yeah.
just
Exactly.
a great
Exactly.
friendship. And I don't think we know how to transition in that way, nor do I think we really know our roles as individuals as
Yeah.
we in relationships. Like our role is to give the best of who we are to anybody. If it's a
Anybody.
stranger,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
if I'm
Yeah.
gonna give the best of me to a stranger, why would
Right.
I then hold the best of me back and
To somebody that
to
I'm trying to
somebody
make.
that I'm
Come on. Yeah. Yeah.
choosing
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
explore my body with, or my life
Yeah.
with, or conversation?
Yeah.
That just don't make sense to me.
Can I ask you though? So
Yes.
listen, me and you become great friends. We become best of friends.
Mm-hmm.
And it develops into a little more. Now we starting to really see her as, or him or her as somebody that's an extra special lady. Now I begin to. So why can't I ask you some questions? Why can't I ask you about what do you think about relationships? What do you think about raising babies? What do you think about buying a home or investing in this? Whatever it is, though, friends should be able to talk to one another and ask one another questions about life and life situation. How do you feel about family? How do you and your siblings get along? Do you love your mom? Are you
I used
gonna,
to meet your mama.
yeah, how do
What
you
do you
come
think
on,
of
girl? You see
this?
what
Like,
I'm
what do you
saying?
think?
These are baby, but these are important things, and we meet
But
these
listen,
guys.
so you
If
say they're important questions, but I think that again, it triggers like, what, we trying to get married? No, I'm not trying to get married, but I do
no,
feel
but
like
I
I
still
need
want
to
to know. Yeah,
know
yeah,
the
yeah.
person that I'm investing my time in. Do you know this is
In
the
my
only
body
moment
or
I have?
whatever. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we could
exactly.
talk about my visions and my dreams for the future, but in real life,
In
this
real
is
life.
the only moment I have. I want to know who
Yeah.
I'm talking to, who
What
I'm
am I?
choosing to
That's right.
invest my
That's
time
right.
with. So this has nothing to do with me interviewing you for husband,
I'm
boyfriend,
not
nothing
looking
like
for,
that.
I ain't trying to get
Yeah,
a husband. I just want to know some of your thoughts
yeah,
on
yeah,
simple life situations, simple
yeah,
life coming, whatever it is that we're discussing.
yeah,
Listen, this is real life. These are real life issues and problems, though, that we are
yeah.
going to have to face. And
Mhm.
I don't want to meet you if you are not stable enough to be able to tell me, look, I don't do family. I don't do children. I don't do relationships, whatever it is though, babe. You tell me all the time, Dad, the first thing I want to do is be honest with a guy. I want him to know who I am, what
Mhm.
I stand for, because if I'm
Values
deceiving him,
are-
I'm deceiving me.
I'm deceiving me, and I will
Yeah.
not deceive me. Not in the
And I
presence
will
of no
not deceive me. Now you taught me that. And I
man.
said, so my baby told me something. let's be honest with that person that you are talking to, because if you deceiving them, you deceiving yourself. And now you got a problem because it's gonna come out down the road.
Yeah, yeah,
So
absolutely.
let's be mindful that. And listen, there are some hungry women and men out here that are seeking good partners, good friends, good friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, friendship is the best thing you could have. If you got a good friendship, nurture that, cultivate that. And if you cultivate that, it might grow into something real, real special. Sometimes your best friend become the best lover you ever had,
Yeah, yeah.
because he was your best friend or she was your best friend, and she have your best interest at hand. And if you got my best interest at hand, baby, believe
Mhm.
you me, I want to give you the same thing back.
Yeah. So as we close, what I hear you say, because we're talking about experiences and relationships, that these experiences that we have the
Hmm.
opportunity to build friendship. And when we
Friendship
can build
first and
friendship by
foremost. Yeah,
asking these questions that really help us to expose ourself, our needs, our desires, then those become great relationships. And then if
yes,
you
ma'am.
can make a
That's what
great
I said.
friendship that can
That's how I
transition
would.
into a
Yeah,
great relationship, then you
yeah.
may be able to have a successful,
A successful relationship, a
yeah,
good
successful.
relationship, because there's somebody that, because they care about. I care about your feelings. I care about you as my friend first. And if we don't be nothing but friends, I still want the best for you. Now,
Yeah.
if you
And I think
became
that,
my lover, my wife, oh my Lord, I want. We
yeah,
finna go to the top, eh?
yeah, yeah. And I think that's one element that we're missing is the friendship. I want you to
It's
be
the
my friend.
friendship first and foremost. Honesty with one another. We need that, baby. Listen, everybody bring some baggage in this house, okay? Listen, I don't care who you are. You could tell that lie and say, I don't have you. You're gonna bring some baggage, whether it's baby mama drama, whether it's your credit score, whether it's your that anger management that you can't, that drinking problem that
Whether
you
it's
got,
mom and daddy issues,
yeah,
mom and
mama,
daddy
daddy,
issues
whatever it is,
growing up.
though, we all got something that we could work on.
Yes.
But the problem is, are you willing to work on it? And let me say, this gonna be my final comment, baby. Is listen, first and foremost, yesterday is done.
Right.
Yesterday is gone. Whatever I did yesterday, if we could just, so the Bible says Jesus forgives us and throw it in the lake of fire.
Mm-hmm.
He burns that up. That don't matter no more.
Mm-hmm.
So let's try to be more mindful of us, and let me pitch this too. This is that season, that month, the book of Luke this month. It's a good book to read for this month of Luke, one chapter a day.
Mm-hmm.
And then, babe, just be mindful though that forgiving, love, God is love, forgiving one another of, and sweep around your own front door while you're trying to sweep around mine. And then if you do that though, babe, you're gonna be all right out here. I'm telling you, man, if we just quit worrying so much about yesterday and somebody else's problem,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be all right. I love you though.
I love you too. And I
Yeah,
think that you bring up a good point about just forgiveness and letting stuff go. And I
yeah.
think that we harbor so much, and
So much. Yeah,
it ain't
yeah.
even so much. And I just want to let the audience know it ain't even so much the person that hurting you today that you're mad at. It's
Yeah,
somebody that's triggering the anger that you already had in you
yeah, yeah, girl.
from
That's
your
it. That's
first
it.
time that you got hurt or the first time you got deceived. And now that
Yeah.
person is just triggering that
Reckon
emotion, that
somebody brought that
unresolved
back up
emotion
in
in
you.
you.
That's right.
Because
That's
nobody's
right.
perfect,
Yeah.
right? And this is why it's
Nobody.
important
Ain't
to
no
build.
perfect people. Remember that now. Ain't no perfect folks out here. Nobody is perfect.
He get
We
the
all
preaching.
got some issues that we could work on. We all make mistakes. We're fleshly human beings. We're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna do some things that don't
Mhm.
always line up. But let's be forgiving and understanding that. Listen, I made a mistake. I learned from it though. It was a teaching moment. It was something that I could work on. And I'm not gonna do that again because it hurt you. It hurt you as my friend or as my partner
Yeah, and I
in
think
this.
that's what people don't trust, right? People
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
trust that. I think that we have this definition, and maybe we need to have a conversation around forgiveness. We have a
Hmm.
definition that if I forgive you, I'm telling
Hmm.
you
Yeah,
that
that is
what
okay.
you
It's okay.
did
That's right,
was
babe.
right.
That's right. That's
And
right. That's
listen, I want to
right.
hear, but Daddy, let me just kind of clarify this for a minute.
Hmm.
We learned that as kids. Because when
Right.
you did something wrong or somebody did something wrong to you and you
Right.
responded to it
All right.
and you hurt them, you
Yeah.
were made to say what? I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry. I'm
Right.
sorry. I
And
made
then
that's
you
right.
was made to then play with the person that
Yeah,
you
to try to make
know
sure they
did you
know. That's
wrong,
right. That's
right?
right, girl. That's right.
You
That's
know
right.
this person said something, threw a shoe at you or whatever. You threw a shoe back, and then they
Right.
like, well, you wrong, say
Yeah.
you sorry, and give them a hug, give them a kiss, and
Yeah. Yeah.
y'all play
Yeah.
again. What
Yeah.
that taught us is when I'm apologizing for my
Mm-hmm.
behavior or the way I
That's right. All right,
responded,
babe. That's
that
right, babe.
means that what you did was right,
Mm-hmm.
I was
Mm-hmm.
wrong,
That's right.
and now we need to play together again.
We
Listen, that's
work
not
on
the
that. That's right.
definition of
I
forgiveness.
made a mistake. That's simple as that.
That's not the definition of forgiveness. That is what our interpretation of forgiveness is based on when we were kids. The
Okay.
definition
Okay.
as an adult in forgiveness is letting go of
Forget it. Throw it
of
away.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
the thought, the belief that the past could have been any different. And that
Right.
has nothing to do with right,
Right.
wrong,
Wrong.
none of that. It just
Indifferent.
has
Indifference.
everything
No
to do
kind of.
with
That's good. I like that.
I
I like that.
cannot change what has happened. And unfortunately, our parents didn't have the language to teach us
All
that
right, girl.
when we
All
were
right. Boy,
younger.
I'm so
Like,
proud of
oh
you. I'm
no,
proud of
you're
you,
not
man.
saying you're
Yeah.
sorry, or you're not
Yeah.
saying I forgive you because this person did something right or wrong. We're
Right.
saying this because we can't change that. Let's move
That's
forward. Our
that's
parents
done.
didn't have that language, so we just interpreted that, hey,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
what?
That's right. That's right. Good,
Um,
babe. That's
you
good,
know
babe.
what? When I say I'm sorry, that means you right. And
Yeah.
that don't mean that at all. So
All right
today's
now.
quote before we end, and we should have started, when nobody around you seems to measure up, it's time to
Mm-hmm.
check your yardstick.
Come on, girl. You know you, man. You that's my baby there, y'all. That just and but you always you have taught me so much as a because I begin to look at it through a different lens. I don't have to look at it through this 70-year lens. I can look at it through that 40-year lens, and then I can come on down to that 20-year lens, baby. I'll try to put myself in another person's place now in my maturity through life. I'm
Yeah,
learning how to look at it from more than just my point of view.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I
Thank
think
you,
that
babe.
this is the quote that I wanted to start the conversation with, but I'm ending it with this because I think that a lot of times we will try to blame other people or say things about other people when truly you said, and you said it like sweep your own porch off. But listen, when nobody seems to measure up to your expectations, to your standards, or to whatever, then it's time to check your yardstick, right? Are
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
looking for something that's more than what you're actually willing to give? Are you
Come on
are,
now.
are
Yeah. Yeah.
is the people that's showing up in your life, they short, but you trying to change them, so just
Hmm.
check your own yardstick. And
Yeah. See.
if
And
you
see.
need
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
stretch it out a little more, stretch it out. And if you need to bring it in.
That's
But
right.
when nobody seems to measure up around you, it's not them, it's you, basically.
Good,
It's
babe.
you.
That's good, babe.
So I
I,
thank you, Dad, for having this conversation with me. I ask you guys to pray for my sister,
yeah.
in her situation. Keep her in your prayers.
Thank you.
You
Yes,
know,
guys. We truly need prayer. So y'all, God bless, guys. And thank you, babe. You was just a wonderful host as usual.
and
And I just,
let's
I
learn how to
love
build friendships and take these
yeah, yeah. And
experiences
I love
and
doing this because
start a transition.
hopefully we have helped somebody. And like we want to make sure that people listen. We are opinionated people. That's all we have is an opinion. And we hoping
Mhm.
that I'm talking to my daughter most of the time, and she's sharing my visions with you guys. So we just hope that we can maybe just help somebody maybe understand a little bit better about this thing called life.
Yeah, absolutely. I love you,
Thank you,
Dad.
babe.
I love you, fam. Make sure you
Yeah.
like, share, and
Hmm.
comment on this post if you like it. Thank you, Dale. And then make sure you guys subscribe to our Shaping Solutions YouTube channels. In 2023, these will be broadcasted off of
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
YouTube channel. So you definitely want to make sure you're getting that alert in your text or in your email. So make sure you go subscribe. And remember, we have the Manifest Your Life 30-day
Mm-hmm.
affirmation challenge. So make sure you get in there. It's Elevate Her challenge where you get 30 days of free affirmations to help change your life and
Yeah.
change how you see yourself. I'm Sheila. This is my daddy. What's your name?
Big Frank. Hey,
Big
y'all. Good
Frank.
night, all. God bless.
We'll see
Love
you
you
guys.
guys.
We'll see
All
you
right,
guys
bye.
next week.
All right, bye, bye.
Bye bye.